Welcome to our Hong Kong Brief program. In today's news, we kick things off with a significant setback in Hong Kong's property market. The recent failure to sell a commercial site in Kowloon City has put a spotlight on the cautious stance of developers, as the Urban Renewal Authority rejected the only bid due to high costs and deviations from the development plan. This situation raises concerns about the future of urban renewal efforts and the financial challenges faced by the URA. Next up, we shift our focus to China, where manufacturing activity has shown a promising uptick for the first time since April. The Purchasing Managers Index has risen to 50.1, signaling growth and surpassing expectations. However, despite this positive news, China's GDP growth has slowed, prompting the government to implement stimulus measures to stabilize the economy. The outlook remains cautious as analysts monitor the effectiveness of these efforts. Finally, we delve into the legal world, where prosecutors are pushing for nearly 17 years in prison for Jack Teixeira, the Pentagon leaker. This case has raised eyebrows due to the sensitive nature of the leaked information, particularly concerning the Ukraine war. As discussions around sanctions and geopolitical tensions continue, this case highlights the ongoing challenges in maintaining national security. Please stay tuned for more detailed coverage. South China Morning Post reports that Hong Kong's recent failure to sell a commercial site in Kowloon City has dealt a significant blow to the property market, signaling a cautious outlook from developers. The only bid from CK Asset Holdings, a firm linked to billionaire Li Ka-shing, was rejected by the Urban Renewal Authority, URA, due to deviations from the development plan and high development costs. The site, which could yield 810 residential units, requires substantial upfront payments and additional infrastructure, such as a sunken plaza and parking for 300 vehicles. With a 3.9 billion Hong Kong dollars deficit looming for the URA, the rejection of this tender raises concerns about the future viability of urban renewal projects in Hong Kong, especially as developers face tight cash flows and a sluggish market. Nikkei Asia highlights that China's manufacturing sector has shown signs of recovery, as the Purchasing Managers Index, PMI, rose to 50.1 in October, marking the first expansion since April. This uptick is attributed to a series of government stimulus measures aimed at stabilizing the economy and achieving a growth target of around 5%. Despite this positive development, skepticism remains regarding the effectiveness of these measures, especially as the International Monetary Fund has lowered its growth projection for China to 4.8%. The third quarter also saw GDP growth slow to 4.6%, raising questions about the sustainability of this recovery amidst ongoing economic challenges. The Guardian reports on the legal proceedings surrounding Jack Teixeira, the young serviceman accused of leaking classified military documents. Prosecutors are seeking nearly 17 years in prison for Teixeira, who pleaded guilty to significant violations of the Espionage Act. His actions exposed sensitive information regarding U.S. military operations in Ukraine, raising national security concerns. As the trial approaches, discussions around the implications of his leak continue, including warnings about North Korean troops potentially engaging in the conflict alongside Russia. Meanwhile, the U.S. has intensified its sanctions against numerous entities and individuals supporting Russia amidst the ongoing war, reflecting a broader strategy to counteract third country involvement in the conflict. South China Morning Post highlights the untapped potential of Hong Kong as a hub for martial arts enthusiasts, emphasizing the city's rich cultural heritage linked to Chinese martial arts and its historical significance in the action film industry. The article suggests that the government should capitalize on this heritage by establishing a dedicated martial arts museum, hosting international competitions, and promoting organized tours of iconic kung fu film locations. The author, an astrophysicist with a passion for martial arts, shares personal experiences and notes that while there are some existing initiatives, they barely scratch the surface of what could be achieved to draw tourists and showcase Hong Kong's unique cultural identity. In another piece, the South China Morning Post discusses recent meetings between Beijing's top official Xia Baolong and representatives from major British companies, Jardine Matheson and HSBC. These discussions reflect Beijing's commitment to maintaining Hong Kong's status as an international financial center amidst growing tensions with the United States. Experts interpret these engagements as a message to foreign investors that Hong Kong remains open for business, despite recent political changes. The meetings aim to reassure investors concerned about the city's future and highlight Hong Kong's unique position within China's development strategy, even as the number of foreign company headquarters in the city declines. Lastly, the South China Morning Post reports on the challenges faced by young surfer Mahohing Nguyen Tang, who has begun training with the Swiss national team due to a lack of support for surfing in Hong Kong. With recent government crackdowns on the sport, including threats of fines and imprisonment for surfers, Nguyen Tang's father expresses frustration at the absence of a national surfing team and proper facilities. The article underscores the potential loss of talent as young athletes seek opportunities abroad. Lawmaker Adrian Pedro Ho calls for designated surfing areas and greater support for the sport, emphasizing the need for Hong Kong to embrace its oceanic sports heritage rather than impose restrictive measures. South China Morning Post reports that Riyadh Air, bolstered by Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund, is in discussions with Cathay Pacific Airways to enhance their route networks, particularly linking the Middle East and Asia. Following a significant order of 60 Airbus jets, Riyadh Air CFO Adam Bukatada indicated that a potential code-sharing agreement is on the table, which would allow both airlines to expand their destinations. The goal is ambitious: to connect Riyadh to at least 100 destinations by 2030. Cathay Pacific, with its extensive global network, would provide Riyadh Air access to over 80 destinations, while Riyadh Air could offer Cathay Pacific more Middle Eastern connections. Bukatada noted the importance of Asian markets, citing previous partnerships with carriers such as Singapore Airlines, and emphasized a strategic focus on connecting the world to Riyadh. South China Morning Post highlights concerning trends in digital fraud in Hong Kong, where rates are notably higher than the global average. Research indicates that 5.7% of digital transactions in the first half of 2024 were suspected fraud cases, with Gen Z users being particularly vulnerable. Scammers are increasingly targeting online forums and dating sites, with 15% of interactions on these platforms involving deception. TransUnion's findings reveal that 51% of Gen Z respondents reported being targeted by fraud, largely due to their heavy use of digital devices. The financial services sector has seen a 29% rise in fraud, prompting local authorities to ramp up protective measures, including the launch of a new anti-scam consumer protection charter aimed at safeguarding against credit card scams. South China Morning Post introduces 5 exciting new coffee shops in Hong Kong for November 2024, perfect for those seeking warmth as autumn arrives. Tazzo, an Italian dessert cafe, offers delightful gelato and miratazzo, while Minamoto Coffee combines coffee with sneaker culture on Sneaker Street. Common Man Coffee Roasters, hailing from Singapore, boasts fresh beans roasted weekly and a menu featuring unique dishes. Colbean's Vinyl caters to music lovers with a cozy atmosphere, and Sinbad Coffee Roasters makes a comeback in Happy Valley, inviting patrons to enjoy freshly brewed coffee or purchase beans for home brewing. Each cafe presents a unique experience, blending delicious beverages with distinct themes and offerings. South China Morning Post opinion on Hong Kong dog quarantine. In a delicate balancing act between the love pet owners have for their dogs and the necessity of public health, the government of Hong Kong has maintained strict quarantine rules for incoming pets. These regulations, which can lead to emotional separations for pet owners, are crucial in preventing the illegal importation of animals that could pose health risks to the community. Thankfully, advancements in biotechnology are paving the way for the government to approve new measures that will significantly reduce quarantine times, particularly for pets from high-risk areas. Currently, pets from such regions face a daunting 120-day quarantine period, but the Secretary for Environment and Ecology, Tsai Chin-wan, highlighted that shortening this duration could discourage illegal imports. As Hong Kong has not reported any rabies cases since 1987, the stringent measures have proven effective. The government is also exploring the possibility of private sector involvement in quarantine facilities to enhance options and reduce costs, all while ensuring that public health and animal welfare standards are upheld. South China Morning Post History of Hong Kong's telephone system. A nostalgic look back at Hong Kong's telephone history reveals how essential prefix codes were in the 20th century, especially before the advent of modern smartphones. From the 1920s to the 1970s, knowing the right prefix, 0 for the new territories, 5 for Hong Kong Island, was crucial for making successful calls. The telephone system underwent significant changes starting in 1925 when the Hong Kong Telephone Company introduced underground cables and automatic exchanges, replacing the manual operation that had been the norm. By the early 1930s, automatic exchanges were enhancing communication, and long-distance calls became possible, although they were often marred by delays and static. Literature from the era, such as Austin Coates' novel The Road, captures the challenges of calling from remote areas, illustrating the technological limitations of the time. As the 1970s rolled in, the reliance on radio telephones faded, symbolizing a shift towards more modern communication methods that, unlike historical prefixes, offer no geographical clues about a caller's location. South China Morning Post Spotlight on Lorena Cartagena. Lorena Cartagena, the glamorous wife of rapper Fat Joe, shines not only as a fashion icon but also as a devoted partner and mother. Married for nearly 3 decades, the couple exemplifies a strong family bond, with Fat Joe emphasizing their commitment to always stay together through life's challenges. Lorena's fashion sense is evident in her social media presence, where she showcases high-end brands like Prada and Fendi, and boasts a following of over 260,000 on Instagram. She is not just a supportive spouse, she actively engages in the public eye, having appeared in a documentary alongside Fat Joe, where they reminisced about their love story. The couple shares a daughter, Azariah, along with 2 stepsons from Joe's previous relationships. Lorena frequently mingles with A-list celebrities, including Alicia Keys and DJ Khaled, reflecting her vibrant social life. Together, they represent a modern family dynamic, with Lorena highlighting the importance of family and faith in her life. South China Morning Post, Lorenzo Bertelli, the son of fashion giants Miuccia Prada and Patrizio Bertelli, has been a transformative force at Prada since joining in 2017. As the chief marketing officer and head of corporate social responsibility, he has shifted the company's focus towards sustainability, particularly through the concept of ocean literacy. This initiative, which aims to educate young people about the importance of the ocean, is part of the Sea Beyond project in collaboration with UNESCO, reaching over 35,000 students. Bertelli's commitment to sustainability is reflected in the introduction of Renylon, a fabric made from recycled plastics, which he has made a central aspect of Prada's communication strategy. He emphasizes the need for consumer behavior to evolve alongside sustainable practices, believing that luxury brands can lead the way in creating a more responsible industry. South China Morning Post, Jenna Wang, the daughter of a Chinese communist official, has recently come forward to share her past relationship with Tim Walz, a prominent political figure, during his teaching years in Foshan, China, in 1989. Their romance, which she describes as passionate and intense despite the secrecy required, involved lavish gifts and private moments away from the public eye. However, Wang's hopes for a future together were dashed when Walz expressed doubts about marriage, leading her to feel disillusioned and undervalued. Now a teacher and translator in Europe, she reflects on her past with mixed emotions, having once contemplated suicide over the heartbreak. Their relationship, which ended nearly 3 decades ago, has resurfaced in the media, stirring discussions about their shared past. South China Morning Post, Ava Louise, a controversial OnlyFans star, gained attention for her outrageous antics, including flashing her chest at a Donald Trump rally. Known for her provocative behavior, she has built a significant following on social media and claims to earn around $100,000 a month from her adult content. Her notoriety extends to past incidents, such as licking a toilet seat during the pandemic as part of a viral challenge, which she later claimed was a troll. Additionally, she sparked a rumor about Kanye West's alleged infidelity, which she later admitted to fabricating out of boredom. Despite her tumultuous public persona, Louise maintains a relationship with Vinny Buffa, expressing her affection for him on social media. Her actions continue to blur the lines between fame and infamy, as she navigates the complexities of modern celebrity culture. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.
Got a book so big and bright, open it and take a flight. Learn about the stars and see everything is here for me. Flip the pages one by one, knowledge under the sun. From dinosaurs to galaxies, a world of endless mysteries. Encyclopedia, yay! Facts and fun all day. From A to Z, let's see. Curious minds run free. Jump into the pages deep. Secrets that you want to keep. Time will fly and you will find magic lies in every line. Animals and history, science full of mystery. Gotta read and gotta know. Watch our minds all start to grow. Encyclopedia, yay! Facts and fun all day. From A to Z, let's see. Curious minds run free, yeah. Jump into the pages deep. Secrets that you want to keep. Time will fly and you will find magic lies in every line. To run free line. Every line's run Animals and history, science full of mystery.